back again! Hi guys, my name is Annabelle from Horizon Cosplay, and today the inside of my house is starting to look very festive. However, the outside probably needs a bit of work, so we are going to make a Christmas wreath, but not just any Christmas wreath, we are going to make a Nightmare Before Christmas wreath. The problem with the Nightmare Before Christmas, do you watch it at Christmas or do you watch it at Halloween? And my answer to this is both, because hello, it's awesome. So I've used my 3D printer, scoured the internet for various Nightmare Before Christmas 3D prints to do, printed them all out, I've just primed them, that's the reason I have paint stained hands, please forgive them, it's just one of those things. And we are now going to paint all the 3D prints. I've got some holly drying downstairs, we're going to weave it into a wreath, put the 3D prints on the wreath, make it look really, really pretty, and oh my god, I'm just so excited about this project, so let's get going! This angle again. Okay, so before we get going with the painting, I'm going to show you what 3D prints I've managed to find out. If I can find them again, because I did this really stupid thing where I downloaded them and then left the page, I will link all these 3D prints, or the files for them, in the description down below. If I can't, I'm sorry, whoever made these, you're awesome. First one we've got is the skull from the Haunted Mansion Christmas wreath. I really, really like this, and this will be going at the base of the holly wreath. The next one that we've got are a pair of Oogie Boogie dice. You can't really see the details because I've had to prime these with black paint rather than white. Personally, I prefer priming with white paint even if I'm going to be painting a dark colour, but I ran out of white spray paint and we went to the shop and typically it was closed and I wanted to get this done today, so this is what we're doing. We then have a spider flake, which you may have seen in the first episode of 12 Days of Cosplay Christmas. So I've got one giant one, and then I've got four mini ones which are absolutely adorable. We've then got a pot of Deadly Nightshade. I actually really, really like this, and I am very much considering printing out a giant version of this because it's actually hollow. I have super glued the lid on because I didn't want it coming off, but there's no reason I couldn't print out a really, really big one and use it to store something. I haven't quite decided what yet. Maybe I'll use it as a pen pot or whatever, but that would be cool. And then my personal favourite is Zero, and I don't know if you can see, but it even has like the tiniest little pumpkin for a nose. So this one's going to be fun to paint. We'll see how it goes. This one came in pieces and I've had to super glue all the different pieces together, but it looks like it's come out okay. It feels fairly strong and hopefully it will be fine to put on the wreath. How am I attaching these all to the wreath? Normally I'd use hot glue. I don't have hot glue, so I'm going to paint these, make the wreath, and then kind of figure it out later. Anyway, let's get painting and into our first time lapse.
Here we started with the black paint. As I figured, well, they're already black, so that seems like a good place to start. Then we moved on to the colours. I particularly liked the two versions of metallic bronze I had, though one of them seemed to be a very harsh metallic red rather than bronze, but maybe that's just my colour blindness again. The white also looked absolutely fantastic putting it onto the black, and in the end I was really grateful for that black base, but you'll see why later.
Do you ever just get so happy when you find something that you didn't know you had? Because basically Ben's gone out and he won't be back until tomorrow, and these were supposed to be travel cookies and he left them behind, which means they're all mine. And I'm very glad because I couldn't be bothered to cook lunch today and it's about lunchtime, and instead of cooking lunch I'm just going to eat a biscuit because that's what we do here. In other news, I'm nearly out of white paint, but I do think I've got enough to at least finish Zero. If I don't have enough white paint, then I think the spider flakes are going to have to get a bit creative with the colour. But that's why after painting the first layer on the big spider flake, I put it to one side and did the skull on Zero, because really they're the important ones. I did do Zero's pumpkin nose in like a bronzy colour. Don't actually like it that much. I mean, I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. But I've got a slightly more reddy bronzy colour, which I think I'm going to put on there instead. And oh my god, this is actually taking quite a few more hours than I was expecting. I don't know why I'm surprised, like I swear to god this happens every single time, but I thought I'd be done by lunchtime, and it's lunchtime, and they're not even close to being done.
And while we wait, maybe you would like a fun fact. Decorated trees first came into people's homes in the 16th century. German Christians are credited with inaugurating the tradition of displaying Christmas trees indoors. However, did you know that Egyptians actually embraced this even earlier? Ancient Egyptians decked out their homes in green palm rushes on the winter solstice to celebrate the sun god Ra's recovery from the ills of winter.
Okay, we are on to the final phase of painting. So all we have left to do is Zero's eyes and collar. The dice are done. Adding the black highlights, lowlights, whatever the hell you want to call them, to the skull. I'm gonna go over my little pot with a bit of extra bronze, just really, really lightly over the brown, so there's a little bit of different colour, and one more layer of white on the spider flakes. We are gonna be finished! Ooh, and then we're on to holly leaves, but I think I might cook dinner before that, but we'll see.
And while we sit out this time lapse, here's your second fun fact for the video. While wreaths occupy a central place on our doors and in our homes during the holidays, they were in fact invented by accident. Rather than discard the clippings from a freshly cut and pruned Christmas tree, resourceful revelers of the 16th century salvaged the excess boughs and fashioned them into wreaths. I don't know why I say it like wreaths, but I can't seem to say it any other way. These wreaths were originally placed not on the doors but on the trees themselves as an ornament symbolising eternity, a nod to their resemblance to an infinite loop. And now the painting, at long last, is finally done.
Selfie filming with this ginormous camera is not the best way to do it, but I'm here selfie filming because all of it's done. Ooh, exciting. So I ended up using like loads of glittery paint, but it's Christmas, so glittery paint is just like necessary. They're gonna dry. I'm gonna go make myself dinner. Once dinner is done and the kitchen is clean, I'm gonna get the holly, which I got yesterday. It's been like pouring with rain the last few days, like torrential downpour, horrible, dogs don't even want to go for a walk kind of weather. So I went out in that horrible weather yesterday, cut a bunch of holly from a local holly bush along where I walk the dogs. Please people don't judge me, but the fact is, it's there in a farmer's field, at the side of a farmer's field. Like, I don't even think it's anyone's bush. Certainly I'm hardly the only person who steals holly from that particular bush for Christmas, and therefore judgment is not necessary, but if you really want to, please leave it in the comments down below and I will try and think of something sassy to reply.
While I cook myself some food, you should take the time to hit that like button while you're here. Also, here are some close-ups of just how awesome these 3D prints look now they're totally painted.
I've just started filming and realised I forgot to go get the holly. Back in 1 second. Ow, 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 and done. Okay. We've got the holly. Now to make it into a circle, probably about yay big. To be honest, I haven't got loads here. I didn't want to take too much from bush because I know that other people use it. One thing I have just noticed is that we don't have any red berries.
My hands honestly got so cut up from weaving all this holly. I would highly recommend, if you would like to do it yourself, please, oh please, wear gloves.
Firstly, I apologise for the height. This table is ridiculously short and therefore when I stand up my head just is not in the shot. And also making a wreath with like real holly, surprisingly painful. Like, this isn't even the first time I've done it, but I swear to God, I don't remember bleeding so much last time. Alright, let's put the last piece on. That is our wreath so far. Alright, time to go get the decorations and attach them to here. The holly is spiky, it will hurt, it'll go prickle prickle and then you will be a sad putty cat. Don't eat it! It's my Christmas decoration. No, holly is not for eating. Okay, so we might have a problem. Well, it's not really a problem, it's more just annoyance. So what you didn't see in my making of Bruni video, which I will link somewhere up there I think, or maybe on that side, who knows, was that when I was done, I tried to put a clear coat of varnish over it and it basically, well, it didn't ruin the whole paint job, but it certainly made it a lot less nice. These decorations are going to be outside. There's no way around it. It needs a clear coat of varnish. So I've just done it. And basically what I've discovered is that when you put the varnish on, it almost thins the paint. I'm sure experienced artists will know this, but it's something that I wasn't really aware of. So the skull now looks a little bit blue and the spiders now look a little bit blue. I think the dog's okay. I'm hoping, touch wood, that the dog is still white because that was my favourite decoration that we did. I mean, it isn't terrible. It does take a while to dry, so I've just been out there to spray it. I don't take my camera with me when I'm spraying stuff, mostly because it's a really expensive camera and I'm not the best person to aim with spray paint. Thus the reason I always have stained fingers when I'm filming these videos. So first off, I've got some string which I need to attach to it in order to hang it up. Just with how our door is, I don't think I'm going to be able to hang the wreath just on the knocker. I think a bit of string to tie into the knocker is going to make that good. So the only two glues I have is a tiny bit of super glue and a bit of fabric glue. Not convinced fabric glue is going to do a lot, but I'm pretty sure I've got one more of these if I really rummage around. So let's hope this is enough.
Gluing everything to live plants took a good long while and again was painful because of the spiky leaves, and guess what, it didn't work. Like, not at all. Like, in a minute I'll say it worked and then I'll reveal that actually it didn't. It was a total disaster. Do not try and glue anything to live plants while they're still green. Even super glue did not stick. In the end, it did come out okay. In fact, it came out super nice. And so when everything was all stuck down, all attached very nicely, and the wreath was about to be hung up, something terrible happened.
The dogs just knocked over the camera and broke the lens, and this isn't my camera, it's Ben's, and I'm totally shitting myself. Oh my god, no.
And this is what the broken lens looks like. I currently do need to replace it, and so if you'd like to support that, please check out my Etsy shop, linked down below. I would really appreciate it.
Oh my god, I'm going to actually kill that dog. Okay, so what just happened is that I was filming this exact thing, and the dog jumped up and grabbed the camera and smashed it into the floor, and now I'm down a camera lens, and it's not my camera lens, which is really embarrassing. I've just had to call my husband and tell him I broke his very nice camera that he's had longer than he's had me. But yeah, there we go. Alright guys, this is the finished thing. Honestly, I think it looks a bit plain and boring. If it wasn't for the fact I really wanted this done today, I would probably go out and get some tinsel or maybe some of that hand spray on snow in a can. But otherwise, I think it came out really well, and the best bit is that all these decorations I can continue to use like in future years, because obviously the super duper glue didn't work, so they're not actually stuck on, which is cool. So all I've done is basically weave them into the holly wreath, and yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. To help spread the Christmas cheer, please drop me a like and a comment about maybe what else you would like to see. Please join me again for our next episode of Costube Christmas, and if you want to continue getting into the festive mood, there will be a playlist pop up at the end of this video with all of the videos that I've released so far in this series. I know that this probably isn't my most impressive project, but honestly, it's one of the ones I've had the most fun making, which has to count for something. And it's also the first video I can ever say I genuinely lost the damage some equipment. Can you hear him barking? The little bastard. I'm really not happy if you can't tell right now, because my camera lens just died. Hopefully there'll be a new camera lens in either mine or my husband's stocking this year. But we'll have to wait for Christmas Day to find out. Until next time guys, have a beautiful day, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and all that kind of stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye!